So I'm doing a review on the Oakley Hi Pink flight deck goggles. So a lot of people don't like the pinkness. I am, by the way. My arm's starting to feel a little better. If you guys are subscribers and you've been following my arm injury, shoulder's still a bit stiff and weak muscles. But it's snowing at Timberline this week. So hopefully Mount Hood will be able to open. And so, since we're on the topic of snowboarding or skiing, the most searched goggle I'd say a lot of people try to look up is what's the best goggle for whiteout days, foggy, cloudy, bad visibility. I haven't really tried any of the other goggles, but I did a lot of research and it was between the Oakley Hi Pink and the Oakley Prizm Rose. So the Hi Pink allows more light, but a lot of people just don't like the pinkness to it, which it's not that bad. Depending on your lighting, obviously this is completely different. It does kind of have a reddish tint, but when the light is hitting from being at a resort, I don't know how those work. Yeah, it'll have like a pink reflective tint, but pink and black kind of goes together. I guess it depends on like what gear you're wearing, like the rest of your outfit. So I mean, if you got pink goggles and then like a green helmet and then like a yellow jacket or something, I mean, it may look a little bit too colorful. But if you're wearing mostly black attire and then you got these, it blends in pretty well. That's just from a stylistic standpoint. But the main reason people are getting the Hi Pink over the Rose isn't exactly the looks. They're getting it for the performance. How does it work? Is it gonna let you see the contours and the grooves in the snow? Are you gonna be able to see when it's so white out? So to answer all those questions, I'll start off with yes, it does let in a lot of light for those whiteout days, foggy days, which is very common in most days here in the Pacific Northwest. Sorry, it's not like sunny Colorado or something where it's bluebird day after bluebird day. Usually it's pretty flat light. So I came across my first experience of getting kind of freaked out when I was riding in flat light. I had normal dark goggles and I was just riding and I just remember like I couldn't see the separation between the horizon and the actual ground. So it kind of, if you're a SpongeBob fan, kind of felt like that one futuristic Squidward episode where everything is just solid white and he's like in a weird dimension. That's what it felt like. I was like, where's the ground? Where's the horizon? I didn't know if there were bumps coming up. I didn't know if there was a cliff drop. Literally couldn't see anything. So I researched the Prizm technology and saw that it increased contrast. And it does. So a lot of you are wondering how well it works. Well, for the Hi Pink, if you go on their website and you do the little scrolling before and after thing and it shows you that and it like makes everything really pop, no, it's not as extreme as that, okay? That's borderline false advertisement. Does it improve what you can see? Yeah. I mean, you still have to like have sharp vision. You got to be alert and you got to be focused. It's not going to make everything pop out. It's not going to make it look like you're riding on a bluebird day with all of those nice sharpness and contrast between all the shapes in the snow. Like, you're still going to be able to see kind of like some shapes and like the pillowiness like on a powder day. And it is not going to be as dark. You're not going to feel as claustrophobic. It matches more of the overall light, like more of a natural look. So when the low light is down, these definitely help, which is again the Pacific Northwest here at Mount Hood, or if you're going to ride in Washington, all of that, then it's not going to be super bright where you're squinting. Like these work fine. In this latitude, they actually work pretty well when the sun peeks out. So I mean, some people have said reviews like, oh, as soon as you wear these and the sun just peeks through the clouds, then you're like totally blind. No, that doesn't happen. Like maybe if you got cataracts or something, like I don't know who's saying stuff like that. Maybe some like old Jerry who's like 60, 70 years old and they need those hardcore HD wraparound sunglasses. But no, I mean, as long as you're not looking directly at the sun, then it's fine when it transitions between partly cloudy and foggy whiteout. These would not be good though on a bluebird day. Okay, those are the facts. The Prizm range works for a wide variety of lighting conditions, but these will not be very comfortable, and you will probably be squinting if it's solid bluebirding. A little bit of sun, that's fine. But personally, for me, they're too dark for night skiing because I tried to go ride at Mount Hood Ski Bowl, and their lighting, first of all, it sucks. It's really like old street lights. It's not like some bright stadium lighting where you can see everything. Like, you can only kind of see wherever you're riding over the actual lights. Other than that, it's just darkness, light, darkness. And so you still kind of feel like you're wearing sunglasses at night, and it's hard to see. So personally, if you're just doing a lot of night riding, it would probably be best to go with clear goggles, because yes, these provide contrast, which does help a little bit, but they're still pretty dark for night riding. So I mean, I was hoping they'd be better for night riding, but they weren't. That's part of why I got these actually over the Rose, is because I thought I could do night riding because they were letting in more light. But I don't know, that's just me, personal taste. I still kind of felt uncomfortable doing night riding, but these are pretty great for when it's dumping powder. They are kind of pricey. You can't change the lens out very well. I mean, there are ways, but then the other lenses are expensive, but they're pretty good. They fog up more than Dragon goggles, which I've had. So just be a little bit mindful of that. They are fairly scratch resistant. I don't really know how they compare to other brands, but I mean, I rode these a whole season and I kind of threw them around and I don't have a single scratch. Just be careful about the fogging. Like, if you try to put your face mask like up under the goggle and it cuts off all the circulation, then these will fog up super fast. Where other goggles, you can kind of get away with it. So I would at least like have your nose peeking out, which it's probably gonna freeze. But yeah, I would say that the Hi Pink actually look pretty good depending on your attire, and they let in a lot of light. So I mean, you're not like feeling like you're kind of like in the darkness or the shadows when you are riding on those foggy whiteout heavy powder days. And they do provide enough contrast for you to see like where you're going in the powder and deep snow, and if it's just kind of you know, they're like in the shade or something. So I mean, it does help, but it's not like the advertisements that you see on their website. So I mean, that's just an exaggeration. So personally, I like them. But yeah, Hi Pink, definitely it's a good choice if you live, say, in the Pacific Northwest or something like that. You may not be able to need these that much if you, say, live in Colorado or California or something, unless it's a powder day. If it's just snowing like crazy, like, these are great. Like, you'll be able to see like all the detail and like every single snowflake that's fallen from the sky. So they're good all around goggles. And then they do have like a very solid premium feel. They don't have like a cheap plasticky. I mean, like, the lenses definitely seem like the highest quality lens of any goggles I've had. So good build material, solid quality, bit pricey. If you only ride whiteouts or foggy or just heavy powder days, maybe only a few times this season, I would not pay the price for these. The only reason that I got these is because, again, here, Pacific Northwest, most of the riding you're doing is not on a bluebird day. So these were a pretty good investment. And on bluebird days, you can kind of get away with just even wearing normal sunglasses. I mean, you get the air that comes into your eyes, but like even cheap $20 goggles will work pretty well. As long as you got UV protection, then goggles don't really matter too much on bluebird days. But these definitely good for your arsenal if the weather is crappy a lot wherever you live.